welcome to my quick flash review series. I'm going to be doing a series of short videos on products that I'm really impressed with, so that I want to share with you and just briefly tell you why I love the product and how well it works for me. I am very fair skinned. I always get the lightest shade in foundations, so I do have combination skin. I have dry patches, I have oily patches. So if you have light skin, if you have combination skin, then these reviews should be really quite helpful to you. But even if you don't, it's worth it just to stick around and find out what I think of the products. And today I'm going to be featuring the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid Foundation. Price point, this is currently £7.99. I don't know if that's going to be its retail price. It's actually a really decently priced foundation because I have the Maybelline 24 Hour Superstay and I think that's around £9.18 at the moment. So £7.99 is actually a really good price. I got mine at Superdrug online, but of course you can find this anywhere that really sells makeup. Boots and Superdrug are your best bet. At the moment, both Boots and Superdrug have these buy one get one half price. So I've actually picked up 2 of these from Superdrug because it's free delivery on orders over 10. So I picked up 2 of these, they'll be coming in the post for me. And I'm really excited to receive them because I think that this is a really well priced foundation for what you get. The colour of this foundation is actually a really good match for me. I got light porcelain, which is 04. I normally would get light beige lately in Maybelline foundations. This is the better skin one. But to be fair, there's not a massive difference shade-wise. I think that the light porcelain is a little bit more darker, slightly a hint darker, which is actually really good to give me a little bit of colour for the summertime, and actually matches really quite well if I do catch a bit of sun, because I'm not really a sun worshipper, so I rarely catch sun. But the colours are actually really nice, but I did check the Maybelline site out just to make sure, and light porcelain was the lightest shade, so I did pick that one up. But if you're unsure, it's best to pop into store and check out the little samples of this and see which one's going to suit you best. Coverage of this foundation is really, really good. I would say that this is definitely medium coverage, even medium to full. I find that the coverage is just really fantastic. I don't need a lot of product, but it just covers my redness so well, covers any imperfections, and yeah, it just gives like a really nice flawless finish without feeling heavy on the skin. It actually feels incredibly light, it doesn't have much of a smell, and it just feels really lovely on the skin. The lastability of this foundation is really impressive. I absolutely loved how it went on and how long it lasted. The weather is very hot in the UK at the moment, and I wore this the other day to an event and it was on all day. It didn't go patchy, it didn't go funny anywhere, it didn't oxidise. It actually stayed on and was flawless all day long. Whether that's how I put my foundation on or the powder that I use with it, I'm not sure. But other foundations do not perform quite so well. Actually really impressed with the performance of this foundation because I found that it lasted all day, and even when I went to take off my makeup at night, it still looked really, really good. So I thought this was fantastic for lastability. The packaging on this is incredibly simple. It's really nice. It's the standard see-through cap. It's just kind of a sort of, I don't know, taupey beige foundation type colour lid. It's a pump action top, which is really good. I don't think that this comes off, which kind of saddens me sometimes because I'd like to get right in there and get every last drop out, but that's just me. It's a glass bottle. This is a 30ml size, so it's a standard foundation size. It will last a really good long time because I found that I didn't have to use very much of it to get a really good coverage, whereas I will say I do tend to use more of the Better Skin foundation for coverage wise, so I just found coverage of this was a lot better. As for the blurb on the product, I will do a short blog post which will include the Maybelline sort of blurb on what this product does. This promises to give you a 100% poreless look. So I did find actually, I don't have massive pores, but I did find actually my skin did look more even, and where I did have pores or any kind of scarring, I did feel like it covered it a lot more than something like my Dream Skin would. So I did feel like it did do what it said it does. It also says an airbrush look. I would definitely very much agree with that because when I put it on, I feel very confident with this on my skin. I've used this, I've had it over a week week, I would say, probably a little bit longer than that, and I'm really impressed with it. I don't often buy foundation straight off, like after seeing adverts and things. I usually try to look for a sample, I email a company and ask for a sample, or, you know, just visit their sites and their Facebook pages and see if they're giving away samples. So I do have samples of the Dream Skin actually, but with this one I just kind of took the plunge because I liked the blurb on it in that it says it's airbrushed, it's poreless finish, it's a satin liquid, so it was going to be promising me something very soft on the skin, just kind of fluid, kind of nice, and satin's like a thin sort of floaty fabric, so I expected it to have a very light finish, and I'm not disappointed by that at all, because I find that it is very light on the skin. It definitely does cover your pores and imperfections really well, and it applies beautifully. And yes, I would say it's airbrushed, because the look of your skin after you put this on, it just, I don't know, it just looks really nice and flawless, and that's difficult for me to say because I don't have great skin. I do have scarring around here. I hate my skin, to be fair. I hate the scarring that I've got. I wish I could get rid of it, but I can't. This is just something, yeah, it's just because I'm spot prone, so not much I can do about it. But I would say that it does live up to the promises that it makes for me and for my skin. But I don't have huge pores, so I don't know whether if you did have very large pores, whether this would be something that would not work quite so well. Alec does have very large pores on his nose, so maybe I'll do a tester on his nose and I'll feed back to you about that. I apply this with this brush which I got from eBay. It's fantastic, but I also have similar brushes from Real Techniques. It's kind of a kabuki style, but it's kind of rounded. It's a duo fibre and it's very soft, but it's firm. So it's really great for buffing the product into your skin. I put a couple of drops of the foundation on the back of my hand, and then I just basically pick it up with the brush and then wipe it on and then buff it into the skin. It doesn't take long to apply and the coverage is fantastic, so you don't need to layer this up, but if you did need to, if I've got rosacea, I have layered it on the cheeks, like put 2 layers of it, and it layers beautifully. It doesn't oxidize, it doesn't kind of go patchy. It performs really well when you layer it, but that's how I apply mine. You could also apply this with a sponge, but I just really love the finish of the brush because you can work at it and buff it really well in, and it just gives a really nice glowing sort of airbrush finish. So that's what I'm using with mine. So I'm including some footage now of me actually applying the foundation. So what you're seeing here is me actually buff this into the skin using this brush, and it's actually clean skin with just the Gosh Prime and Set powder on top. So I've applied the Prime and Set, which I do before because it's a really nice prime and powder. It kind of mattifies the skin and it blurs the pores, and it's just a really beautiful powder, and it's a really nice base for foundations. I use around 3 to 4 small tiny dots, and I just, yeah, I don't need much of this foundation at all to get a really good coverage. And as you can see, it is a really nice colour match and the coverage is really nice. So overall, what I have to say is I absolutely love this foundation. I give this a 10 out of 10, which is pretty huge, because with the better skin, I probably give this an 8 out of 10, and I just find that this is so creamy on the skin. It works in so beautifully. It's like applying a moisturiser, but it feels very light on the skin, and it hasn't irritated my skin in any way, and the coverage is just fantastic, and the lastability. So I definitely give this a 10, and that's why I've ordered another 2, because I just think that this is just one of the best foundations I've tried in the longest of times, so I'd highly recommend it. So that has been my quick flash review on the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid Foundation. I got mine in light porcelain. I hope you've really enjoyed this review. Please let me know if you've tried this and what your thoughts and feelings are on this. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I'm gonna love and leave you there. I've been Spacey's #1 girl, and this is the colour of my kiss.